All right, this is what a tone-deaf politician looks like. There are so many problems with this. Let me get into it. This arrived in my mailbox yesterday from a senator who has no idea, apparently, how the money is being spent. I live in a neighborhood of 93 houses. 81 of these are owner-occupied. One of them is only recently moved out because the person who lives in it is looking to cash out, and for a price 4 times what he paid for initially in order to move in with his daughter, who also lives in the neighborhood. So this has nothing to do with out-of-state corporate investors, okay? That did happen at the time I bought mine. Mine was a listed owner must occupy. And so at the time I bought mine was the last recession, where what was happening was investors were coming in and offering cash at $25,000 or $35,000 more than asking price, and beating out the people who were trying to get into starter homes. As far as I know, I was the only bidder on mine because there was a provision in it that I think it was for 2 years the owner must occupy it, and they had to sign forms to that effect or there'd be tax consequences. So I didn't do it. So she mailed this to a neighborhood full of people who already live in the homes that they own. And we all know who the renters are, and they're all problems. So she blames it on, she mails this to people who already own homes, blames it on out-of-state corporate investors, and takes absolutely no responsibility for anything else that's happened, like inflation. Okay? So we're going to have financial penalties for investors who buy up housing stock and jack up prices. Okay, well, that's fine. What about the things she voted for that jacked up prices of everything? Okay? Capping rent at 4% in corporate-owned housing. I thought we weren't going to have corporate investors. Okay? Also, rent increases of 5%. Well, that doesn't... Almost all the rental homes... Let's see, I think there's only 2 that are for rent. I'm on the HOA board, so I know this. There are only 2 houses in my neighborhood that are for rent that are corporate-owned. The others are owned by other people who live in the neighborhood, or they are still owned by their original owners who have since moved elsewhere. So this will have absolutely no effect on the houses in my neighborhood. And then this, what the hell is an unreasonable price, and what the hell is a housing crisis? Okay, home price gouging. The reason why prices go up are for 2 major reasons. Number one, supply and demand. They're having trouble getting building permits to build houses because the city is making it difficult for them to get permits to build houses. Number 2, they're encouraging people to move here when we don't have water for the people who move here, which then creates an increased demand. And they're doing that so that they can import voters. And thirdly, the other reason why prices go up is because of inflation. You can't do anything about inflation, but you cannot contribute to make it worse. And that's exactly what Jacky Rosen has done in the Senate, is made inflation worse. Let's see. And this is in Spanish, and it's probably the same as this one. So this entire argument is fallacious and completely misguided. This person clearly has no idea what the people in my neighborhood are looking for. I have a neighbor in the 1-story next to me who was looking at the 2-story that just became available, but he is not interested in paying an additional amount of money. Let's see, it would be $600 a month to make the jump from the one he's in to that one. Not only that, if she is successful at this and brings those prices down, then we'll have tons of people in the neighborhood who have higher mortgages than the houses are going to sell for if Rosen is successful. This is the same thing that caused the first housing bubble in about 2009, is because we had people who had mortgages that were way more than their houses were worth. I can't even see my other hand, but they were worth. And so they walked away from them because they couldn't see paying 3 times as much for the same house as their neighbor had. And so they just walked away from it. Now I'm lucky. I got them I got my house when it was on sale. I don't need her help doing this, and so this will have absolutely no effect on me. But for the reasons I have articulated, as well as for possibly others, it's a dead letter. Jacky Rosen is out of touch and has no idea what life is like at sidewalk level, despite the pretty picture of her standing in a neighborhood in probably a stage shot with some people who probably don't even live there. Because I don't know when this photo was taken, but this this is just barely this week the weather that justifies this kind of clothing. And these trees have way too many leaves on them. I don't see any death. This is a stage photo, okay? No one is dressing like this. She does not go into neighborhoods like this. I'm not sure where this is, but she does not go into neighborhoods like this and walk around in this city. Senators don't come and walk the neighborhoods. So this is all half-truths, whole lies, and complete waste of time. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this mailer. Thanks for wasting your money and the money of your donors. Godspeed, and whatever happens next Tuesday, may it favor peace and prosperity in the world.